Hey, welcome back to Say You Look Tired. Hope you're good. Hope you're okay. You'll be in the holidays now. You'll just be able to chill. Well, yeah, I'm Martin.
I'm Dan.
Nice. So, yeah, Dan, Easter holidays. Do you know what I always find funny about teaching? Apart from the summer holidays, which are the summer holidays, I don't know what it is. Everyone just says it's half term. They'll be like with every holiday. You can be on Christmas, you can be on Easter. Oh, it's half term. Even like us, like a teacher, you always say like, "Oh, it's half term." It's not. We know it's
Yeah,
half term, like, but it's just a holiday's a half term unless it's summer.
I know. Yeah, I don't get what that is. I always call it the Easter holiday. So for me, it's always been holidays, holidays, holidays. And when it got to Easter for me, I loved the Easter holidays because I knew after that you're sort of over. Even though you're well over the peak of the hill, it's almost like here we go. This is it. Let's land this plane. Let's get out. Let's get to the summer. And but then also what also just sort of taints Easter holidays for me. And I'm going to mention it, everyone. I'm sorry. School reports.
Do you know
It,
what? I was
it,
about to say the exact same thing.
it sort of takes away. Do you know, you're sitting on Easter Sunday and you're eating your Easter egg and you've just crunched up that foil and you realize that the reports are due. I know if you listen to our previous episode, you'll know that I said something about if you're going to think about your school reports, plan them out now in advance and say you're going to do X number each week. And then that means you can enjoy your Easter egg. You can enjoy it. But that's what always just to take Easter holidays for me. It's also a bit about Easter I love. The weather's getting good.
Yeah. Bit
It should
wetter.
be.
You're getting up,
Mhm,
but it's light. You leave
mhm.
school and it's light. That's always nice.
Because going dark and leaving when it's dark is not good for you at all. Like yesterday, so bit of context, I'm at home right now in Northern Ireland, Ballycastle, which actually was voted last month the best place to live in Northern Ireland.
Oh, really?
Ballycastle, and it's won it before, and at one point it was voted the best place to live in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Fact. And it didn't. The sun was going down at about 7:30 last night, and I went out for a run, and it was still sort of there just before 9 because we're on the coast here. And I thought that is going to be it now for a few months. Lovely light evenings. And that's what I love about Easter. It sort of gets you that buzz, it gives you that energy. You get your vitamin D, you get out for the fresh air and that sort of thing. And you know how this could sound cheesy, like spring into new life. But that's if you can actually find a way to switch off during the Easter break, it will really help you when you do go into those next few months of everything's coming right now for school. Because, when you go back after Easter holidays, for me anyway, it was school reports, um, people progress, trying to push as many children as you could to expected for the end of the year. You maybe had a few observations to do. And then for me, we had the transition, getting ready to move the children up, meet your new class. But for us, it was meeting the new children who were starting school and their parents and doing all that stuff. So it's
Doing
just
a
a
big
trend I
assembly
love.
for
Love, love,
them,
love.
telling them about how it all is, telling them the expectancies, everything like that. Here's what it's going to be. Did your school used to get the cantinas or the dinner ladies where they'd make a couple of meals and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I remember, here, do I know what? It's been years, Martin, since I've seen horrible school dinners.
Yeah.
Years. And I know I saw a thing on TikTok last night where people were like, bring back the days of the turkey twizzlers. Jamie Oliver ruined it for everyone. But do you know what? I've seen really amazing. Now, Sammy, I'm going to call out Sammy, who was our head dinner lady at my old school. Those dinners were, I used to smell it come down the corridor.
Yeah.
But like when we had the parents in, they went to open up like a bit of a kitchen bit. It was the one they would push out like a hot plate thing, and they would have like you say a few examples of the dinners on there for the parents to see. And I would see a few parents get up for seconds, and I was like, "Here, I see you, I see you." They'd have a few puddings there as well. But yeah, we would have that, and we would have like the school uniforms hung up so they can see what that looks like. And it's funny seeing the parents coming, especially if they've not been back to a school since they left and they're almost sort of nervous walking in. And then they see this, cartoon character standing at the front. Hey, everybody, welcome to school. Let's do this. But yeah, that's coming up. But for me, like up until 2020, I actually find it really hard to actually to switch off, I would have and to the point where I would feel like I was going a little bit insane, Martin. I would say, right, you need to stop.
Mm.
You need to stop.
I think it's so hard. It's so hard in any holiday apart from the summer because summer, you don't like, you know what you're getting into the next year. But apart from maybe getting a couple of things ready, you don't really know like what that next test is going to be like, how you're going to do everything, stuff like that. But like with it, like with summer, with Easter, with Christmas, it's so hard, isn't it, to go, right, let's have downtime. Let's think about it. And it is just about create little habits, isn't it? Just to make sure that you do it. Like, what's yours so that you go, right, I'm going to switch off.
Well, for me, do you know what it was? I've got this laptop right now because obviously I run my own business, but I would leave my work laptop in school.
Nice.
That's what it got to at the end because I had to, because if I took it with me, then it's there. And if I've removed my emails off my phone, then I can't get to them. So I ran the gauntlet of I'm gonna leave this in school and see what the crack is here. Because I was that tired and that annoyed that when I got to Easter anyway, I was like, I don't want to do this, as in do any more extra work. So I would leave my laptop at school. But the times before that, when I didn't, when I tried to switch off, I would say, right, I'm going to give myself 2 days of this break where I'm going to sit down and
I love
do this and this. And I'd always make sure that the first week back is planned and sort it. And after that, then just the rest of it's fine. And have like your medium term plan, your skeleton was already there. But for me, as long as the first week back was sort of sorted. And what's bad about that is I had so many teachers message me yesterday. I did a joke post for, well, not a joke one. I did an April Fool's one, but I just said, what is happening in schools that you think should be an April Fool's, but it actually isn't. One of them said about how this week is their last week. They've not finished yet.
Oh, yeah.
And
A couple are doing 1 week, aren't they? And then they have two at May.
mhm. And like so because they finish on Thursday, because they're not in on Friday, because it's, Good Friday, they're not getting PPA. And I went, "But
Oh,
everything's still expected to be done." I don't not know why. I know it's hard to sort of, timetable that in, but you know it's happening, you know it's coming, so you could sort of give people extra time last week.
yeah. The one I liked, one of the schools I was in, we had like a PPA teacher and she went all round all the classes. So you'd have half a day in each class. And she just made up a rule where she just said, last week of each half term, always really stressful. There's lots to do, so there'll be no PPA. And she just used, and everyone was like, and their head was like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. If that's how it works, that's how it is. And it always made me laugh because if you took away a PPA for the week, Sh she didn't really run any subjects. She didn't like, and she just everyone would be stressed in the last week because you get everything ready, there's no PPA. But at the same time, she'd often just be in the staff room just with a cup of tea, just like, "Oh, yeah, very stressful."
Stress.
But it made me laugh before when you said about when you were like, "Give myself 2 days," because I thought you were gonna go the other way. I know how much of a workaholic you used to be. With you being like, "I give myself 2 days," I was about to laugh to be like, "So you're about to say 2 days to relax and then back into it."
Martin, I think I'm looking at that through rose-tinted glasses. I know exactly what I need. I know what I was doing before, and I think that it was definitely more than 2 days. I'm sorry, everyone, I probably lied. I'm thinking of, like,
Even the
recent
last
times,
year or
but
2.
I know when I first started, and I know within them first 10 years, oh my goodness me, how long I cannot believe I've teaching so long, that, do you know what I remember? Sitting well, I'm one of those people, I like to lie on the floor when I'm working. Don't know why, but I love to lie on the floor. Spread all I don't I'm sitting at a desk now, that must be something if you are one of those people that like to lie on the floor, let me know. And I was lying in front of my TV in here, and I always come home for most of the holiday times in Northern Ireland. My mom said to me something like, "When are you gonna get off that laptop and actually spend some time with your family that you've come home to see?" And I remember, like, biting back at my mom, "I've got responsibilities, I've got stuff to do." And all it was going through the medium-term plan again and making sure that it had all the learning objectives and whatever in it, and it took forever. It took absolutely forever. And, I remember, like, making resources on Word and Publisher and trying to get stuff sorted, and before I knew it, the Easter break was done, and you're back. And I had this thing, not anger, because I don't ever get angry as such, but I remember going back sometime after the Easter holidays and being annoyed with myself
So
and
that
the whole
it's working.
system. Yeah, and the whole system being like, "How dare you? I've been working all Easter. I hate this." And, like, I remember one time going back and someone said, "Oh, good to see you again, Dan. It's the summer term." "Is it? Is it?" And I was like, and I knew how many days it was until
The
half
next
term
time.
break a day, and I was like, "Oh, it's X number of days, get me there." Isn't that rude? But that's what I did. That's the sort because I was done. But I love how you just triggered that response for me. That's what things were like.
Do you know what though? It's tough, isn't it? Because I mean, there's so much pressure, isn't there, to like be the teacher that turns up, be the teacher that works, be the teacher that does this, and it's just sometimes about saying, "Do you know what? It's an amazing job, but it's just a job."
Mhm.
Like, you know, we've both left schools. What happened? They got another teacher in. Like, like,
I I was replaced before I even left, and I was like, "My grave is still warm, and you just brought somebody else in." And I give slight sass at this. I was like, "How dare you?" And, like, they come in, they start, like, almost with measuring tape, measuring up there, "I'm gonna put my stuff here, I'm gonna do this." I'm like, "Get out of my room."
well, I think what's worse is I don't know whether that's better or I think I was replaced for about 2 years. Which I think may even be even worse, like, just when we can kinda cope. So, one of the girls who was part-time, she went into mine, I think, for 2 or 3 days a week extra, and then they had, like, a TA cover the rest of the week. But that went on for, like, 2 years, but it was like, "Oh, like, you putting a job advert out or are you replacing?" It was like, "No, we can cope."
"No. No, no, no. We're fine. We're fine."
Yeah, so at least you did get replaced. Mine was like, "Oh, we should be with what you do, we should be able to manage."
Uh-huh. "We will be fine with fine. It's fine. We can cook. We can cook." That's
That's the
funny.
thing, but your family, your friends, they wanna spend time with you, they wanna give you that thing, like, sometimes it's about having that separation, isn't it? And going,
Mhm.
like, that it's a great job, just a job.
Mhm.
Taking it out to be more than a job, sometimes it's about taking that step back and being like, "Why am I putting so much into this? Normally,
Mhm.
because you're not feeling comfortable somewhere else." Like, sure, we've both been there, like, I know you've talked about it loads, like, put the weight on, you feel less confident in yourself. What happens? You lean into school more because it's the only thing you're doing right,
Mhm.
and that's where the
Mhm.
spiral starts to working every hour under the sun for 365 days a year.
And even when you're not, like, when you give yourself time off,
Nah,
it's still
always.
there. It will still crop in. And, what's actually good now is that most of my teacher friends and I noticed this recently, like, the friends I've made through teaching, I hate calling them teacher friends because we've known each other for years. We actually don't talk about work. For about the first 5 minutes, it'll be like, guess what?
Yeah.
Guess how bad it is now?" Like, one of listen, so this shows the state of things. One of my really amazing close friends, she is such we train together. And, on our PGCE, we went on our first placement together when we did, like I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, I think your first placement was 2 weeks, and I remember, like, gearing up to do story, I'm like, "I'm scared," and the register. But, one lunchtime, we went into the dinner hall, and there was somebody else in our course that was in the same school, and she was playing piano, and we started singing. That's how we bonded. Anyway, she is the most amazing teacher, leader ever, and she's thinking of leaving teaching.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, what a loss." Like, she is absolutely probably one of the best teachers that I know, And she's like, "I've had enough of this. Had enough of this." But yeah, it happens that it's out there, and, like, she'll be replaced like that. And so it's about making time work for you. Like, turning 40 for me has been one of them things where I'm glad that I remember my 30s
Yeah.
now, because I started clawing back life from 34 onwards. I don't remember my from 24, I started teaching at 24. I don't remember most of my 20s at all,
No.
at all. I don't remember anything memorable from it. Which is isn't that I feel like that's a really horrible thing to maybe say, but I just remember spending most Sundays in the Sunday blues and being anxious every day. And do you know what's so funny? I'm seeing old Facebook statuses pop up from back then because you know it gives you Facebook memories. And Martin, a lot of them are very negative. A lot of them are very moan, moan, moan. Where it's like there's one where it said, because I don't drive. Not that I'm not allowed. I just never went. I got banned. Don't let him behind the wheel. He talks too much. I actually was doing that. I actually almost went to do my test years ago, but my sister and I got into a car crash one time. We rolled into a field and hit a pillar. Luckily, we both survived. So did the pillar. The car didn't. And anyway, so I've not driven since then. So I used to have to get the bus to work when I worked. My school was like 3 miles out of Leicester City Centre. And when I'm there's a Facebook status that come up. I was like, just missed the bus. It's going to take me forever to walk home. And I posted that status at 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are all like, absolutely exhausted. Get this over with. Or working day. And I've got a picture of my living room set up with like folders. And I'm like, oh my God. But that's what you had to do to survive. That's what you had to do to survive. Whereas, like we're saying now, it's your Easter holidays. If this is going out next week, this is probably going out on Wednesday. I mean, is it
Monday, oh,
Monday?
no, no, next week, so
Yeah. So take this now. Shut that laptop. STL. Shut that laptop and get outside. Touch grass, as Katy Perry would say. Look at the sun. Enjoy the moon landing. Oh, not moon landing, the moon orbit. Did you see that last night?
No, I didn't see it.
So I'm quite a space geek. And there was the first launch last night that's going to orbit the moon in 50 years. So they've not been back. They've not orbited since then. And it took off last night. So I'm like, this is so exciting. But plan things in. If you're not planning something in, it doesn't need to be, let's go on this weekend trip away. Even just taking yourself to the park and going for a walk
Yeah.
and doing easy, simple, low hanging fruit stuff. Just go and do it. Make
That's
it happen.
the thing, isn't it? It's just, I think with everything, when it comes to food prep, when it comes to training, when it comes to making plans, when it comes to anything, like people get overwhelmed about that perfect idea, don't they? And it's just that thing of like, just take it one step at a time. Plan nice things where you go to the park,
Mm,
do things. And I think if you've got kids, one of the best ways, once they're a little bit older, is to like tell them about what you're going to do.
mm,
If you're telling them it, they're gonna hold you accountable. If you say, "We're gonna go to the park this week, and we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna go to the museum, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that," well, then they're gonna be like, "Yeah, let's go do that."
mm,
Then you can't say, "Oh, well, just do it." It's a bit like, I think any goal you've got, if you talk about it, it keeps you more accountable. If you wanna spend more time with your family, if you wanna spend more time with your friends, tell them.
mhm,
Tell them, and it'll put that boundary in. And I think key, get emails off your phone. You said it before, if you've got them on, they're just a way to just suck you back in. Like, I've got an
mhm,
online coaching business. Everyone I work with, I've got their like, they've got my WhatsApp, we chat, we talk, always there for them.
mhm,
Or I have a personal phone and a work phone. If I'm out with my
mhm.
family, they can message. It doesn't come to me. I only chat to them when I'm in work mode. Yes, they
Yeah.
get a response within 24 hours, normally like so much more. But they can't disturb me. Someone sends me a message at 10 o'clock at night. Do you know what? I encourage it. I'm like, when you need to
Mm,
say it, but know that the message back ain't gonna come back in 5 minutes.
mhm,
Message me at 2 a.m. Like, you ain't getting a message back probably till 9 a.m. the next day.
mhm.
Do you know, like, but that's the thing. For me, it's an email isn't on the responsibility of the sender. I see
Yeah.
online. To me, the email is on the responsibility of the recipient. Set yourself in up in a place where you don't have to open them. And unless you're a head teacher, like, what emergency is that that's gonna come through on an email? Yes, there might be 1 or 2 occasions I'll hold my hand up that a head will have that emergency in an email, but for the rest, deputy down. If it's an emergency, the head teacher is going to phone you,
Mhm.
and everything else can wait.
I
And
know, yeah.
there's nothing, but if you keep messaging, the head's obviously gonna message you back because you've
Mhm.
opened that boundary to, like, it's okay to message, and it's just gonna to and flow. And
I agree with that 100%. Like, I think I mentioned before, one of my old head teachers saying to me one Monday, "You're in the mood?" And I was like, "Yes, I am, Rebecca. I got your email from you." She was an amazing head teacher, by the way. "I got your email yesterday about such and such that's happening this week." And she was like, "I didn't ask you to read it yesterday." And I went, and I turned around to her and I went, "That is so true."
yeah.
And I didn't have my emails on my phone. I just happened to open my work laptop because I brought it home with me, like, "Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh." And, because I used to have all my tabs open already, so I had to go p and you hear that ping, you're it's like
Well, that's it, you've
Pavlov's
got to
dogs,
you've got to check. If you see
mm,
it, you've got to check.
absolutely, and, it's like that thing when people say, when you've fallen out with someone, "Put their WhatsApp on archive and move it across." No, because you'll still see the notification,
One.
you're going in. You're going in. Let's go. So, and I said to her, "You're so right." And that for me was a big turning point. I don't think she realizes how powerful that moment was. In this, I can still remember where we were. And I thought, "You're right. That's my fault for reading it." So you're in control of your tap. You can open that and close it when you want. So get it off. Having your emails on your phone for that is so 10 years ago. Let's just get rid of it. Let's just do it. Let's face it. It brings you no happiness at all. And I don't think it's right for people to say, you can only email between the window of this and
Uh,
this. No,
but the one I
no.
hate is, what's the new one? Because you can schedule emails where you can work, and then set the schedule for the right time. Yes, the sender could do that,
Mm,
but I personally believe, like, everyone's in their own little bubble, and at that moment in time, that head or that deputy or whoever it is probably just wants, like, "Right, let's get all this work done." They're not thinking, "Oh, and, what time will the person on the other end
mm,
get this email, and where will it be?" Like, take that responsibility away from them. Let them
mhm,
send it when they want.
yeah,
Instead, you just don't open it, and you don't open it by you don't look at it.
mhm, yeah,
Like my work WhatsApp is well, it's on my phone, it's on my computer. When we're chatting now on Zoom, you're on the full screen. If you weren't on
mm,
the full screen, I'd be completely distracted by the messages coming through.
mhm,
Do you know what I mean? And I'd be wanting to read them, and I'd be wanting to look, and I wouldn't be focused, and I wouldn't be in the right zone.
mhm,
Same with this, if you're with your family and the emails are on your phone, they're gonna suck you in. You're gonna start reading it, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about stuff. Even if you
yeah,
don't act on it, you're gonna think about it. It's about taking that off, putting the boundaries in. Like right now, we're talking here, my boundary is it's the full screen, so the only thing
mhm.
I can see is you, not everything else behind.
Absolutely. You're full screen as well. There's no I've not even got my watch on. So this is the thing I've started recently. And I said to myself, said I'm a grown man, adult, I would hope. And I would like to think I've got self-control. But looking at your phone for no reason, your phone can actually tell you many times you pick it up to open it. It tells you that
Yeah.
as well. And I'm like, that is ridiculous. I don't want to spend my life on this like device. So no, thank you. But you reminded me of something. I had a message from a lady who had listened to one of our other podcasts about we'd said about removing emails off your phone, and she said she'd done it because she had went on a holiday of a lifetime with her family to Disneyland in Florida, and it was the start of the summer holidays, and she had forgotten to clear off her sideboards in her classroom because she was that excited. She left, blah, 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 whatever. She got an email from her head teacher. She had her emails on her phone while she was in Disneyland to say, "We need to have a discussion when you get back at the end of August. You forgot to clean your sideboards, so your classroom will be deep cleaned." And she said that it sent her off on a spiral. There she is. She saved up Florida, Florida, Disneyland, and she gets this email, and it just is all she can think about.
Yeah.
And I sent her so she'd sent me she'd be come back. It was during the summer holidays. She'd already been, and I sent her this voice note. Whenever I get incensed enough, if you follow me and you get a voice note from me, you know that I've been triggered. And I was like, I am furious. I was like, tell me the name of this. No, I was like, give me her email. I said to her, this is not right. As you will never get those memories back with your children fully because you were not in that
Yeah.
moment. I don't have kids of my own, but, like, when I'm with my nieces and nephews, there's been times in the past when I've had emails on my phone where I've been dragged out of that moment, and when you're dragged out of it, you're not gonna get that back. You will not get that back, and, like, my nephew's 15 now, he doesn't wanna hang about with me, and I remember, "I'm not cool anymore." "Excuse me?" And, I remember times when I've taken them to, like, the fun fair and stuff, and I've got emails come through,
Yeah.
and I've been dragged out of being in that moment, and it's still here. So get rid of them. Your life deserves more than you getting that notification over cleaning your sideboard, your deep clean not happening in your classroom. Piss off.
And do you know
Sorry,
what
I'm
I
smart.
think's like a real good one? You talk about self-control and stuff like that. No one has self-control and stuff like that because there's certain things like we automatically do. So I think a perfect one is, you get your phone, anyone listening to this, get your phone and change round your home screen, so
Mhm.
your apps are in different places. And wherever it might be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whichever is your go-to one, you will be shocked at how quickly you open that app, which used to be where Instagram was, because you'll just pick up your phone and go, "Did it?" Bang. It's like if ever Robin asks me to do anything on her phone, like say we're in the car or whatever, and she'll be like, "Oh, can you text them back for me, or can you do this? We can do that." I always get her passcode wrong the first time, but not because I don't know her passcode. It's because I automatically put mine in and just go, "Do, do, do, do," and I'm like, "Oh, I got it wrong." Right. And my thumb just goes automatically to do it.
Uh-huh.
And it's those little things, like we've got that muscle memory with it. And it's the same.
Yeah.
We're always, if emails are your one, doesn't matter how routine, how many boundaries, if you've got that on your phone, you're going to hit it, you're going to see it, bang, you're off the moment.
Mhm. Absolutely, and that'll be a big thing for Easter holidays. Get them off your phone. We've mentioned this needs to be one of something we mention in every podcast episode. Anything to share? Get your emails off your phone. Another thing, leave your work laptop at school. And on that note, here's something hilarious. So it must have been about 2020. I'm gonna say 2022, 2023, because it was whenever I was well into this. And we had a snow day, right? We had a no, that is a lie. It wasn't a snow day. The school had a leak. And I was like, score! Like it was and it was on a Thursday, so it was awful because we still had to come in on the Friday because the
Oh,
school
that's
was fixed.
unless
So there was
unless
this
it didn't get fixed, you go round just firing
like,
the rest of the pipes.
we had went into school and then we were all sent home because the water had to be turned off. So technically there was no toilets for us to use. The children couldn't come in anyway because the corridor was flooded and blah blah blah. So I was like, "Do we need to?" I'm on SLT, so I was like, "Do we need to stay to do anything?" No, no, no. Off you go. Some people stayed to mop. I was like, "Well, I didn't." Go. And so I went home, and then we were all asked, "Oh, now that you're all home, could you do this, this, this?" And I went, "I don't have my work laptop." And they're like, "What do you mean you don't have your work laptop?" Well, because it's at work. Dan, come on now. Oh, I didn't know I had to take it with. I never take it home because then I said, if I take it home and I lose it on the way home, I'll be liable. So anyone, and like that's the lane I went down at the time. If I take this laptop home and it gets, but that's the thing. I don't have house insurance because I don't own my place. So like, if there's a fire or I get chased down the street by thugs and they steal my laptop, then I'll be liable for that. Plus, it's got all the children's data on it.
Yeah.
GDPR. That's another thing. I remember Martin one time leaving. So remember I said I got the bus. I was that tired one time. I got off and left my books in the reusable carrier bag on the bus. On the bus. Luckily, it was 2 stops away from the station.
Yeah.
So I was able to go in and get the books. But could you imagine? I was like, "Oh my god, I've had the children's books. What if someone sees they're bad, like, the bad works of art in there that they've tried to label? No, I'm gonna get in trouble."
That's the thing, isn't it, though? It's just all with it. It's just those boundaries with it, isn't it? Again, it's just keeping the laptop. It's being like, I'm not doing this. School doesn't pay me enough. You don't get paid for your holidays, so why are you working
Mm,
them?
mhm.
Like, that's the bit
Yeah.
we like switch them off. I think it's probably a good place for us to finish this episode and wrap
Mm.
it up. But it is just stick those boundaries in, have that Easter, have that fun, and just chill.
Chill. Chill, Denise.
Nice. As I say, a good place for us to wrap it up. If you've got this far in, make sure you go and leave us a 5-star review on wherever you're listening. Shoot us a message on Instagram if you're enjoying it. I always love it when
Mhm.
someone reaches out and they're like, "Oh, by the way, listen to this. It's really good."
Yeah, absolutely, and there was one lady who we were her number 1 podcast, and I gave her a free subscription to my website, so but yay. Let us know.
Oh, no, class. But yeah, we will speak to you all on Friday. Bye now, guys.
Bye-bye.